Hello everybody, welcome back to, this time not the river. We are currently in Hemes, a creek in the Hemes Mountains somewhere. I'm here with my grandma who bought me this lovely figure, and I assume as you've seen the title and the thumbnail, we have probably my new favorite figure. The Hammond collection, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Like, wow, this figure is awesome. The articulation's incredible, so let's just start right now. We will begin looking at details, even though we usually look at articulation. Well, I know I did that on Ampelosaurus, so I don't really have a style here. So if we take this, and let's look at the head. So one of the best features of this is, that a lot of people seem to like, is the glass eye. You can see how it kind of like follows you, because it's a glass eye. So it looks really good. So the head detailing looks awesome. You can see some bigger scales there that I really like. They look awesome. The fine details on this are incredible, and like the under of the jaw is probably the best detailed spot for some reason, in my opinion. I don't know why. It just looks like it has the most scales and wrinkles and stuff here. You can see some of the like scales are like dotted with a little bit of black to add some detailing, and you can see here some more brown, which is actually accurate to the Stan Winston maquette. The teeth are a little rounded, but I don't really mind that. They've always been rounded. But they're not pure white. They look like they're like bony or like a little bit yellow on both sides here. If we look at the other side, it's pretty much exactly the same. No details that I don't think are on. Yeah, it looks like even this little crease here. So the articulation on the head here is my favorite, probably. It just gives you so much range of motion. So we'll look at that in a minute. But my least favorite part of the figure is how the jaw is on like two set points. You know, on like some of the Mattel figures, how their legs have like click in positions. Well, the jaw has that with like two. So there's 1, 2. There's like no in between. Like you can get it, but it'll slowly go back down into its position. And that also means that the jaw can't close all the way. I don't know if that's a mistake with mine or with the figure, but like it won't close all the way. That's how it should look. And it opens up a little bit, so that's kind of annoying. But besides that actual articulation, I love the mouth. And I didn't think I would like this rubber because it just like will fold, and I thought maybe it would get in the way, but it doesn't. So I hope a lot of figures will start to get this, at least in Hammond collection. The detailing on it looks really nice. And then the inclusion of like this tongue that can go up is a little weird, but like I really like it. It doesn't look good there. It looks like he's choking on something, but if I close the mouth one click, I think it looks pretty good there. But this one's also on like the either down or up, so that's kind of annoying as well. So if that could be like posed right there, I'd love it. And because like your tongue here, it's like it should be attached here, that's why it should be thick at the back, but it looks like a flimsy piece of, I don't know, flesh or something. So that's one complaint I'd have, is like the tongue looks too skinny. Right here should be connected, but I'm not sure how they would have done that anyway, so I can't complain. So the actual paintwork on the head is great, as I've mentioned, the dots and like this brownish color there. But like there's like on the ridge right here and above the eye, there's like some, looks like creamy color dry brushing. It looks really nice. And then on the top there's seems to be some more darker browns, like the lips here. Actually, they don't have lips. But one thing is the sudden color change from here to here looks really, really bizarre. But it's not that bad. You just have to look at it close to notice it. So, there we go. And if I even if I open the mouth, it looks a little bit better because it covers that black line. But then we get into the neck, and its creasing and stuff looks great. Like, probably one, if not the best detailed Mattel figure. On the bottom here is where the detail is least. It's not as fine. So I'm not sure why, but this part is like a rubbery, kind of like the tongue. So it's got really nice details too, but the problem with that is that the actual coloring on it looks a little bit different from the head and the body here. But it's not that different. So the body here, let's look at this segment now. I like this here, it's like ridging, or because the T-Rex is shrink wrapped a little bit, so I'd assume that's like the side of the ribs. But like, I love the creasing around the arm here, and then the articulation on the arm is great. It even has wrist articulation, which we'll get into in a little bit. But the actual coloring is like really different between both too. This feels like a softer plastic to me. Maybe it's just because it's hot out here, I don't know. And then from the front, you can see there's like the dark coloring again on the front. And there's creasing. And it even looks like there's a little bit of marbling pattern right there. I don't know if that's intentional or not. I mean, it's there, and it doesn't look bad. And it's same details here on the top. The brown continues here. Doesn't look like it's there, like this brown over the base color. So if we continue down, look at the bottom. So here's one problem with the way this is done. So this all looks fine, but since there's an articulation point here, it starts to chip away at the paint here. But I don't think any other paint chips when moving parts. Just be careful with it, moving it there. We'll continue on to the leg. There's lots of creasing here. It doesn't look like much scale detail. Got this double jointed knee. That looks nice. Kneecap there. Great muscle definition. And we get here. And the scoots look really nice. Sorry, being attacked by a bug. More scoots on the foot. Nail paint. And if you didn't notice, we got nail paint on the hands. Yippee! The foot. Detailing on the underside. Look at the back. It's got dew claw right there. Some paint splatter there. We keep going. It's like the lighter color. On the front, it's a dark color there. Then we have like this here. That looks really nice. Then we start getting onto the tail here. And this part here is solid plastic, and it's got a joint there that we'll look at. And then it goes into another solid piece of plastic for the joint there, but then it's like the squishy material for the bendy wire. I'm not sure what the armature on the inside looks like, but I will say that the color difference here is definitely the most striking, and there's a big seam line, so maybe I'd have to glue that up a little bit more to fix it. But that's one downside. So I don't know if it's a bendy wire. It feels like there's multiple different like things in there, but it poses nice. The other side is pretty much exactly the same. The striping detail looks great here. I love all the stripes on it, and in the promo images it looked like too much, but since there's that like dark airbrush effect on it, it's not as bad. And then there's like, looks like they might have put a little bit of a wash on it. Here it looks like there's a lot of detail and stuff in there, unless they just painted over it. There's a lot of speckling there too. So the details in paint look incredible on this figure, and definitely is the best painted Mattel figure. Like, there's no doubt about it. So next we'll look at articulation. So the head can open really wide, can close just those two pieces, like those two set though. Then up, I forgot to mention there is detailing under the tongue too. And then right here, so that's the head. That head can move around like that. And then can go up, down, side to side. It's a little bit of like a less articulated joint, but it still makes it able to look fluid, because if you push the head too much, it has this gap, so if I were to move that and just push that joint, it would look a little bit better. And that also gives it the up. This is a great joint too, and it's rather nicely hidden because of all these like creases and stuff. So you can move like that. The camera up and down. So the arm, this might be a little bit tight if you get this. So you gotta kind of push it into place because it'll be like that. But once you get it to go in like that, it looks a lot better pose-wise. And then you got it at the elbows and the wrists. And that's like, I think our first wrist articulation in the Hammond collection, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I think it is. I don't have the Triceratops yet, so I don't know if they count those as wrists. So when we get to the leg, it can do the typical Mattel fashion in and out on the leg there. Can swivel like normal. I'm not gonna try and see how far it can go. I don't want to push it. It does have, seems like this is like the set right here in like a neutral pose. The double jointed knee can give you some great posability here. You see? So like that. You can get it to pose around maybe even a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. So that's as close as they can go, and then if I were to move it as far apart, there's like 2 clicks on this too, but it's not that bad to make it all the way straight. This one is a tighter joint now, so it's double jointed there, and then here you can go up and down, and you can turn it to in here. The ankle. So that's nice too. People complain about how big the feet are on this, and I really don't see it. They don't look that big to me. Like, I don't see a need to get replacement feet. Although, if there was one with added articulation, which I saw Rod Random working on, those are the ones I would get. So then the tail has a joint here that you can turn. Like that. And you can go like a 360 here. And then there's another one right here, which I can make go around too. And then this is where we get to the bendy wire, in which the articulation, I don't want to force it, but to make it look natural, it's kind of hard because it feels like those segments in it are where they pose, but you can get it to curve rather well and look nice with the rest of the joints. Oh no. So I think the articulation on this might be the most articulated dinosaur figure I have, if I think about that correctly. I hope we get so many more dinosaurs like this. And originally, I thought this was going to be the size of the Extreme Chompin version, and it's not. It's a lot bigger. So, the Epic Roaring size, I would say. I don't have that here with me, though. Didn't have them with space. So, there we have it. There's the articulation on Rexy here. This is the Jurassic Park 1 Tyrannosaurus. So if you like that Tyrannosaurus design the best, I personally like the doe from the Lost World, so let's hope we get that next. That's why Thrasher T-Rex is my favorite T-Rex until this. This is incredible. It's perfect for stop motion. It holds its poses rather well. The only joint that doesn't do it perfectly is this one here. It's kind of loose. So, but if you get it right, you fiddle with it, you can get some great poses. using that. So time for the comparisons. So here's the dinosaurs I have for comparison, and also a human. And it looks like we're gonna need a bigger Spino. Rexy is now... This is now the Rexy I will use. I always use the Extreme Chompin one because I thought its sizing was better, but this one's just so much better in every other aspect that it's kind of impossible not to use, and I want 6 of these so I can make as many customs with them as I can. Especially a Giga Hammond collection, even though I still think that Giga design is pretty awful, and here's the reason why. Let's go on a little bit of a rant here. I feel like Jurassic Park has such an influence on general public's perspective of dinosaurs that when they see that, they're like, oh, so that's what Giganotosaurus looked like, and in which case they're just wrong, and that's the one thing that makes me mad. But as a design, I think it looks pretty cool. So we'll start here by comparing Rexy with our human, a 2018 mercenary. Right there. So he's small. I don't know what else to tell you. But one downside to that head is that since it does this one click, I could try and put the human there, but the mouth will open and it can't hold him in there very well. And you see it just slowly opens until it gets to that one there. So eating a human and posing it, eating something is like super hard. So maybe I'd have to like put some tape or something on him and stick him to the roof of the mouth. But he's a little bit longer than the head and is super short. So if I go to the leg here, he's short. Doesn't even reach the claws when I have him extended down on a neutral pose. So human, small, accurately sized for JP, I think. For JP1 at least. So next we have this Baryonyx, which is a surprise that my brother just brought, that has no wrist articulation. Can you believe that? It's got no wrist articulation. So it's small, and I think this is one of the aspects with the T-Rex, and Indominus is accurately sized, but the T-Rex is kind of overly big compared to other things. So if I were to make this fight a Triceratops, I'd want the adult beast of the Mesozoic Triceratops, because the Hammond collection one, I know I don't have it yet, but based on Collect Jurassic's review, it's so much smaller that it's not even like T-Rex would have a fight. So this one's great. Hammond collection too. Hammond collection's the best. So this one has like the two, the top and lower jaw that can pose individually. So if I wanted that one, which this one can't, it's literally just got those 2 clicks, which is, it's that head articulation on the jaws there. Next, we have Pyroraptor. Wave 2, still the best wave so far. Nothing beats it. We have, it's small compared to as well. So, can jump on him. On her. Rexy's a her. And it's not going to do anything. No damage will be dealt. Again, can't hold. No! Poor Spino. In the mouth, too. It's not going to happen. So, it's also small. So, here's the Sinoceratops from Wave 2. So, continue. Sinoceratops, again, small. This is my first Sinoceratops. For some reason, I never found the other ones. New Mexico didn't really get the endings of Primal Attack and the beginnings of Camp Cretaceous. So, that sucked. Next, we have Megaraptor. Again, small compared to Rexy dwarfs everything. And here's the last comparison. It's Spino, and Rexy is now bigger to this Extreme Chompin Spino, which is not the best because the Spinosaurus is supposed to be bigger. That's like the whole thing, but it's not So there's Rexy, there's Spino. It can be taller if you were to pose it like that. There, it's taller. But as a figure, it's just so much smaller. And the tail is so much skinnier and shorter that it just looks less chunky. But with the spine, it's a little bit bigger. So if I put it behind, it'll appear taller. But yeah, since it doesn't have the ability to strike so many poses, if I just went, boom, Rexy's taller. So let's hope for a Hammond collection Spinosaurus. Mattel, do it. Make it a thing. Sorry, that was a very, very loud. I'm by a road, kinda. It's kind of far off, actually. I'm not sure how it's allowed. Mattel, give us our much wanted Spinosaurus from the Hammond collection, also Giga. Yeah, so I think that'll do it. Rexy easily kills Spino in this scenario. Well, there we go. So, best Mattel figure. Don't know how else to put it. I didn't think I'd like it that much because, you know, that I'm not going to start any drama. I'm not going to say what I was going to say because, you know, your Rex stands are your Rex stands, I don't know how else to put it. So there we go. That's our Hammond collection Tyrannosaurus Rex. Please continue the Hammond collection. Cancel other figures if you need to. Hammond collection's easily the best. Love it. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. And now on to the beauty shots.